We are working professionals. We work very long hours. When the summer came along, we had to place our child into some kind of daycare.
How old is your son at this time?
My son is 5.
Okay, so he's 5 years old. How long was your child in her daycare?
For over 3 weeks.
3 weeks. And within the 3 weeks, you noticed that there were things you didn't like about it?
Immediately, she started complaining about our son. I know my son. I know what he's like. He's like any other 5-year-old. He's creative. He's energetic. He is curious, just like any other child. So I don't know why she would always blame everything on him when there's other childs. There's a child named Sally that he would always talk to us about and complain about, saying, Mommy, he did this, she did this.
Well, I guess what I'm getting at is that you were comfortable enough to leave him there for 3 weeks. There was no warning signs. Then why the $850? Tell me what happened then.
The $850 covers the $350 medical bill, which includes x-rays and the ER, the initial ER fee. And then there's a $500 additional fee for the extra fees we had to pay for childcare on top of what she charges, which is $1,000 per child every month.
All right, I'm just going to say it. These two look tired as all get out. Yeah, they're working professionals and they work full-time, and they left their kid at a daycare, but geez Louise, they need a vacation, which maybe that's why they're suing. They need some extra cash for a little vacay. Just saying.
Do you have any evidence?
Yes, I do. I have an invoice right here.
So $350 is for the medical expenses?
You can give me everything. Thank you.
And $500 is for the extra child care?
Yes.
All right, so then what happened to Max while he was at daycare?
Well, because Sally brought contraband of magnetic marbles, and she stuffed them in her clothing. And my son had no idea. I mean, he's 5 years old. He doesn't know what that is.
Yeah.
And so she brings this in, and before you know it, they're playing with marbles. So my son swallowed one. He swallowed one, and she wasn't watching him properly. He wasn't being cared for properly.
All right, so then did you tell, so you realized Max swallowed the thing. Did you call 911 right away?
I called his parents immediately. I called his mother, and there was no opportunity to leave a message. I wanted to get a hold of a parent right away.
So you got hold of who?
I got a hold of his dad.
Okay.
And his dad responded and came and picked him up.
Max and how was Max? He was fine?
Max, initially, when he came up to me,
Do you know what he swallowed?
From what he said, ball. He described it as ball. He didn't really, he wasn't describing it as magnets. He just said, I ate a ball. And I wasn't sure what he was referring to. And then I started to try to figure out, was
she allowed to call 911?
I don't see why she couldn't have.
My first is to assess the situation. Max was able to talk.
I'm sure it didn't seem like it was an emergency at first, because the kid was able to talk, and all he was saying was he swallowed a ball. There was no way of her knowing right away that they were magnetic. Does that mean that maybe it was still her fault because she should have been watching him? Maybe. Let's see what happens.
Okay, so did you ask Ms. Riker to reimburse you for the medical expenses?
I did. According to her, it's my son's fault. Why do you believe that you're
not responsible for the medical expenses?
I did everything humanly possible to ensure the safety and to be alert and to respond to a situation that, hindsight is 20/20. When you look back and say, well, you could have noticed this, you should have noticed this. Well, being in a room with 4 children, and some who are more creative
well, listen, I understand that you can't supervise a child all the time. I get that. But at the same time, you have a duty to make sure these kids are safe.
Absolutely.
Because it's very clear you had a duty, and you failed in that duty. So based on the evidence, I will grant the defendants $350 for the medical expenses that directly came from the defendant's failure to make sure your child was okay. All right?
Thank you.
So that's it.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
All rise.
Yeah, that was a pretty quick cut. cut and dry case. Bottom line, all jokes aside, that I know I make a lot of jokes, the woman should have been watching all the kids more carefully. At first I thought it was going to be a daycare situation where there was maybe like 10, 12, 15 kids, but this is just 4 kids. You can pretty much have all 4 kids within arm's reach if you're all in the same room. So where was she? Was she looking at her phone? Was she just watching TV? Was she not paying attention? Probably. And I'm so glad that this wasn't worse. What do you guys think about the judgment? Do you think it was too much, too little, or just right? I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know. Love ya.